I'm just reading through some analyst reaction, and the word cautious and caution is coming through in terms of the analyst response to these earnings. What is behind that caution, the cautious commentary coming through from you and the team?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. Good morning, Tom. Look, I mean, when you take the macro uncertainty out and, of course, currency headwinds, I mean, look at the underlying performance of SAP, and it was just stellar. I mean, the cloud revenue, which is growing by 28%, this is even an acceleration compared to Q1 by 2 percentage points. The backlog is now up to 18 billion euro, showing the resiliency of SAP. And even more important, when you look at innovation and AI, over half of the deals embedded AI, showing the strong demand of our customers for business AI. And yes, of course, we see the macro uncertainty out there. We see the currency headwinds, but what we control is our own performance, and that was really good this quarter.
Okay, so your own performance was strong. What is the extent, though, of that caution amongst your customers when it comes to the tariff uncertainty? What are you hearing from your clients, and to what extent are they kind of slowing down maybe some of their orders?
I mean, Tom, what we are seeing in a very few industries, take the U.S. public sector, take manufacturing. I mean, there are already customers who got hit hard by tariffs. And obviously, there we see some elongated sales cycles. I mean, they have tighter cost controls as they, already feel the pressure out of the tariffs. And these are the moments where we have to, of course, convince even more with strong business cases. The good piece is, Tom, when you look at our half-year 2 pipeline, that is actually very strong. And the customers see actually our software, our AI, as a solution to overcome those challenges. We still just need to, of course, work more diligently with some of the customers who already got hit hard by tariffs.
European stock futures are up this morning on expectations that maybe Europe can emulate Japan and get a deal with the US. If Europe does not get a deal with the US, what will the impact be on SAP, do you think?
I mean, the good piece is when you look at SAP, we are doing business in over 100 countries in the world. So we are having a resiliency just by, the coverage of all of the geos. We are also covering 25 industries. Still, of course, what is for us very important is predictable trade. And so we, of course, also looking forward that also Europe can really cut a deal with the US because we need it. I mean, when the overall economy is going down, I mean, obviously no one is immune against that. That's why I'm still hoping that, Europe can follow Japan and also, agreeing to a deal with the United States.
Yeah, and look, you obviously have close contact with the German government. You're the most valuable company in Europe, after all. What signals are you getting, Christian, from the German government around the likelihood of a deal between Europe and the US?
I mean, from what I know, of course, there are ongoing negotiations, and they are negotiating also in good faith. I mean, they really want to come together, and, talking to each other is the first step. Now, the second step is that both sides are willing to compromise to find a deal. So I'm staying optimistic now that they're going to find a deal now in Q3. That would be important. I would say, there are only winners on both sides of the ocean if they can find a deal. And I guess with that spirit, also the German government is leaning in.
30%, around 30% of your sales coming from the US is the biggest single market for SAP. And you've talked about the currency pressures, the weaker dollar is a drag. Do you expect that drag to be there and to show up in the results next year as well, Christian, in 2026?
I mean, it all depends how the currency, will develop. I mean, of course, if it stays like that, of course, we will gonna see a further currency impact. But we always guide at constant currency. I mean, this is, what we can control. And there, of course, we expect an ongoing strong business. The currency is hard to influence. If it stays like that, obviously, there will be, a further impact. But again, currency, fluctuates, over the last 5 years a lot. And what really is for us important that the underlying performance of SAP obviously stays strong.
Yeah. Is there more you can do to mitigate the FX effects in terms of hedging?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, of course, we are hedging, obviously. And then, of course, second, what we also then, of course, are doing is, again, across the geo, I mean, we are closing contracts in all parts of the world. We have huge multinationals. We can also close certain contracts in local countries. There is, of course, certain things what we can do. again, Tom, for us, it's very important that pipeline is strong. We actually see strong execution so far in the year, and that is, of course, our main focus. And then the currency, of course, there are certain things what we can mechanically do, and we're going to do that.
Yeah. What is the AI demand? How much of a catalyst, of a driver, will that demand for AI services from SAP be, do you think, in 2026?
I mean, Tom, given now that we already delivered 40 AI agents, no matter if it's about financial close, cash conversion, about better quotes, better pricing, understand better the consumer trends, or about supply chain resiliency, the customers are really leaning in. I mean, we are, as I said, 50% of the deals are already including AI. The adoption is going up, and the customers, and that is for me very important, they see the productivity increases, after applying SAP Business AI. And of course, that now that we are delivering more and more on top of our AI foundation, and together with our new data offering, Business Data Cloud, I actually, of course, expect that we see a further surge in Business AI also in 2026.
Okay, a further surge in Business AI in 2026. On that backlog, before we let you go, Christian, the backlog of 18 billion euros, there's the support coming through. What does that backlog of orders look like by the end of 2025?
Look, that really depends now on the second half of the year. I mean, of course, we said pipeline is strong. We have a really, really good pipeline coverage. On the other side, there is this macro uncertainty. So it will now all depend on, can we really execute on all of the pipeline? And so the current backlog will further grow. To what extent really depends then on macro uncertainty. And of course, if execution stays strong, as in half year one, we confirmed our outlook. So we stay positive for the year.